$775. I keep my house at 78 degrees. 78 degrees. And it's going to be $775? That's actually crazy.
In Florida, rising costs are sparking frustration among many Trump voters across the state. From housing, groceries, gas, insurance, and everyday expenses, the pressure is building fast. Stay with us until the end and listen closely as people share their personal stories behind this growing cost of living crisis.
I had to turn on all the lights in the kitchen because it is so dark here. Ever since we tinted the back windows, and I can't wait to see how it affects my bill because $800 a month is ridiculous.
I hate the country right now. I hate the struggles that middle class people have to go through. I hate having to choose between my prescriptions to make me healthy and feeding my kids. But I can't afford anything right now. I'm struggling. And I know I'm not alone. I just don't know what to do anymore.
States that are under Republican rule fare the worst across virtually every metric.
Hell no, don't move to Florida, okay? I've been here 7 years. Don't do it.
Charging $2,500 for rent for a non-downtown area is diabolical. Why is West Fort Lauderdale, and when I say West, I mean like West, like Sunrise West. Why are they charging $2,500 to $3,000 for a one-bedroom apartment? I swear everyone lost their mind.
I don't know if it's just me, but I just spent $226 in Sprouts for meats and Boveda. And the other day in Publix, like $400 and something on the same thing. I think these prices are literally so crazy, and it's just for my husband and I. I am so curious to know what families are spending on groceries a week or a month, because there's no way people are surviving paying, I don't know, let's just say like $800 plus if you have a big family. I'm in shock and confused, and I feel like every time I go to Publix or any of the grocery stores, it's like so much money.
How much is it in Florida? $5,292. That is literally over $3,000 more than the national average. That is absolutely ridiculous, right? And I can vouch for that. I can tell you because I own rental property.
Guys, I was drinking the Kool-Aid, the Florida Kool-Aid, where I was like, oh my God, everything has to be so expensive. And like, you can't get a one-bedroom apartment for under $2,500. I am no longer drinking the Kool-Aid. My current rent is $3,050. Now, yes, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. My new rent is going to be somewhere in the $1,900 to $2,100 range because this is getting out of control. I mean, imagine what I can do with an extra $1,000 a month.
Well, it's a moment that too many renters are all too familiar with these days, opening that lease renewal and wondering how much higher it may go.
It's one of these things where you almost start to feel numb to it.
For Alex Kalianis, it's a monthly reality trying to keep up as rent continues to climb.
It's stressful. It's stressful, having to deal with that burden, perpetually.
Alex is by no means alone. A new national study is putting a spotlight on just how tough it's become to afford rent in Florida, ranking it the worst state in the country now for renters. A new consumer affairs study ranks Florida the worst state to rent, with residents spending close to or more than a third of their income on housing. The report also finds that Florida has fewer tenant protections than many states. And while there's no shortage of apartments anymore, many of those built recently are high-end units, not affordable housing. Economists say until more workforce housing is built, many renters will continue to feel the squeeze.
What we should really be concerned about is not necessarily the price itself, but how much of my income that price is taking up.
USF economist Michael Snipes says Florida also lacks safeguards, no limits on application fees, no statewide controls on rent increases, and fewer protections against eviction.
These rent prices in America really don't make any sense.
My rent in Miami has gone up $750. And let's not even say Miami, North Miami. If you know, you know.
A new report just came out that showed that Florida is the worst state in the country right now for renters. And what that means in a real way is that people are paying almost 40% of their income just to rent.
Hey, y'all, come with me and let me show you what you get for about $1,400 in Florida. Y'all gonna love this. So spacious. Oh, freshly renovated, by the way. All right, here are the living quarters. As you can see, it's massive. Probably about 2,000 square foot right here. Yep. That leads into somebody else's unit, you know, because privacy is not really expected for $1,400. Just a blank box there. Hey, at least you get 3 switches with a no fixture and some hi-hats. Get a nice little wall unit. It is nice and cool in here. There goes your closet with the hot water heater in it. You know, here's the master bath. That's the master bath right there. You know, got stuff going up. Here's your dining room. Looks massive, doesn't it? Look how big it is. I mean, it's just so spacious. Yeah, $1,400 right here. $360, and I can show you the whole place. Bam. That's ridiculous. Sorry, guys, it's not $1,400. I apologize. It's $1,700 for this thing because you're walking distance from the beach.
Ron DeSantis, y'all need to do something about these rent prices. There's no reason that people's rent should be more than somebody's mortgage. It's crazy in South Florida right now. Y'all making it so hard for people to afford to live on their own. You got to work 2 and 3 jobs. You got to do Uber. You got to do this. You got to do that. That's crazy. Rent prices in South Florida and Florida, period, need to go down. President Trump, Ron DeSantis, this message is for you.
The average person in the state of Florida spends 37% of their income on rent, more than any other state in the country. And yet we have so many developers throughout Florida trying to convince the public that this is great, right? That all the development going on is great. It signifies progress. Everyone's doing great. The Florida economy is booming, blah, blah, blah. Someone that they interviewed for this article said, hey, I'm married. We have a 2-bedroom that costs $3,000 a month. So yeah, pretty expensive. The overall cost of living, insurance rates on anything, home, auto, are typically more expensive here than elsewhere in the country. So many factors. It's like you're paying a penalty to live here in Florida, honestly. And if we're talking about Miami, ni digamos. And when it comes to tenants/renters, virtually no rights are given to you in Florida. Landlords and developers have the law on their side 100%.
Gas prices went up 60 cents in a week where I live, Central Florida. It was $2.79 last week. It's $3.49 today.
All right, give an update on our gas prices. We're at $4.11 for cash, $4.21 for credit on regular. On our diesel, we're $5.59 for cash and $5.69 for credit card. Next to us, Racetrack is at $3.99 and $5.45.
Me and my roommates have been trying to carpool more to, save some gas.
Caroline Lafferty is a student at the University of Tampa, feeling the pinch every time she fills up her tank.
60 to 70. If I fill it up, but I think in past months, maybe like $40. So it definitely makes a difference, like that $20.
With gas prices averaging around $4.04 a gallon nationwide and just over $3.96 in Tampa Bay, Florida has issued an emergency rule allowing E15 gas to be sold for 90 days starting on May 1st.
Not really a fan of that. So that's the downside of that. I like the environment that I live in, and, I want to keep it going for as long as it can go.
Still, with school drop-offs along with the daily drive to work, Adam says high prices leave her little choice.
It's definitely been inconvenient, but it isn't every day. I mean, you got to get the gas. You got to get to places.
Gas prices in Florida went up 17 cents overnight. Diesel hit a record high of $5.73 a gallon. And I'm sure you've already heard or felt how gas prices are now at an average of $4 per gallon across the country. And Palm Beach County now seeing an average of $4.26 after jumping up about 14 cents overnight. Martin County jumped up 20 cents overnight, and really all of the Treasure Coast now more than $4 per gallon.
Southern Southwest Florida.
right, gas prices right now. We're trying to go out and keep our tank filled out, like over half a tank, but literally I don't know how the F we're gonna go anywhere. Like, fuck. Okay, what's the gas price right now in Florida this morning? What do you got for a regular unleaded?
It's $4.19.
So $4.19 for a regular. Our car requires the what?
Plus.
Plus. How much is the plus right now?
$4.54.
All right. Let's see how fast they go up, because they're certainly not going down.
What are gas prices by you? And can you hear the tears hitting the pavement? I mean, come on. Should I not have topped it off? $60. Gonna have to get a fifth job.
So I'm at Publix right now, but how come nobody is talking about $7.29 for a bag of chips? We're all talking about eggs, but what about these $7.29 chips? That's crazy.
From skyrocketing rent, gas, insurance premiums to rising grocery and utility bills, many say their incomes just aren't keeping up. For some families, it's forcing tough choices about what they can afford and what they have to go without each month.
I came to Publix because I didn't pack any lunch. So I go on the Publix app, trying to see what's the sandwich on sale. The Italian, my favorite. I pull up, yes. Why do I see this price? $9.99. I go up to the gentleman. I say, hey, sir, price is wrong. Because when it's on sale, give me a full foot-long sandwich for $7.99, $6.99. He's like, oh, yeah, they up the prices. We are in a recession. Do you know how much a foot-long sub now costs? $10.99. I think that's criminal. Because from where I'm from, the psychotic state of Florida, they shouldn't be anything more than $8. What are we talking about? I'm upset.
$17.33. That's how much I paid today for this coffee. I'm here and I'm just adding some numbers together and doing my budget because you know what? Today I asked my husband, where's the money? We're making the best we've ever made. Both earners, both incomes, good incomes and everything. And we don't have money. We're living paycheck to paycheck basically. So I put the numbers together and I decided to look at my budget. On June the 2nd, 2023, the same exact coffee was $9.92. And I don't know where my money goes. Every month, I'm struggling.
I think what's happening with the prices in our country, this is just insanity. So basically, I was at Whole Foods like a couple of days ago. These were $7.07 something. Before, they were $5 something. Okay? Now, today, they're $6.69. What is going on? Why are we having crazy price jumps like these? These are still expensive. I don't think they should be more than $5, but okay.
I think I'm hallucinating. Check out the prices for 1 can of corn and then 1 can of green peas. This is $2 per can. I remember when they were 50 cents. Where are we headed to? This is absolutely insane. Yeah, check this out. 3 little cans for $4. Insane.
Florida is so broke right now, people are literally financing their groceries like a car note. Florida has officially turned into the second most financially distressed state in America. Of course, only Texas beat them out. When I saw it, I thought, dang, Florida and Texas are in competition with each other to see who can treat their people the worst. See, here's the wild part. A new study found that 25% of Floridians are financing their groceries using buy now, pay later. You heard that right. Loans. We finance cars, homes. Some people even do it to furniture. Now it's chicken wings, bread, and milk.
Everything is extremely high. Groceries, gas, housing, everything. I'm working 2 jobs and it's still barely scraping by.
It is rough right now, especially with the economy, with gas prices. Gotta work basically 2 jobs.
2 jobs to get by. I mean, do you think that should be the normal? Definitely not. I'm working more than I'm living, also going to school. Have no time to actually enjoy life.
The cost of living in Florida has accelerated at nearly 5 times the pace of the last decade.
Rent is definitely going up, and landlords, everybody, they don't want to hear anything because, they've got to take care of their families also.
But I've noticed my bills, water bill, electricity bill has gone up for sure.
Homeowners are facing some of the highest insurance costs in the nation. Average annual property insurance premiums reached $2,794 through 2020. 2025, which is up 63% since 2020. And renters are also under pressure. Florida's average rent climbed from about $1,200 in 2015 to $2,200 in 2025, an 85% increase over the decade. Now let's talk about everyday essentials creeping up. Some alarming statistics from that report to note. Eggs have surged 135% over the past decade. Rice prices are up 46%, and bread has increased by 30%.
Family of four's gotta budget everything. Budget your food, budget everything for the week. It's getting bad. It's getting real bad.
Big news in real estate today. Florida's population boom substantially fizzling out. Net domestic migration collapsed from over 300,000 people in 2022 to roughly 22,000 last year. Orlando's inflow nearly vanished. Tampa's dropped 70% in a single year. Middle-class workers and young families are leaving because insurance, property taxes, and home prices price them out. Wealthy buyers keep arriving though, but analysts warn it's a direct threat to jobs, paychecks, and home values across the state.
You gotta have 4 different hustles or 4 different jobs, for real, to make it in this economy in Florida. They talking about gas has been the lowest it's ever been, baby. Gas is $3.19 where I live. And it's for these new kids. These kids cannot make it on their own. These new young adults, they have to make 3 times the rent, which the minimum wage is not. I don't get it. How is this happening? I think the 35 and older club has figured it out because we know you got to have more than one hustle. But as far as going into young adulthood, baby, that's not happening.
I don't know if he's gaslighting us or delusional. I don't know what it is. People are struggling financially, and it's affecting people mentally. People are more aggressive, and I don't blame them. Like the pressures of, paying their bills, and so I get it.
The majority of Floridians say the state is no longer affordable. The poll was conducted by Florida Atlantic University. The poll showed that 80% of Floridians are concerned with housing, and 90% say that inflation is an everyday concern. Nearly 50% of Florida's population thinks about leaving. Here's my surprised face.
So federal minimum wage, I believe, is $7.50 an hour. Could be $7.25. I'm not quite sure these days. I also do not pay minimum wage. So minimum wage in the state of Florida is $14 an hour, and they've been progressively trying to step it up. Next year in September, it's going to increase to $15 an hour. And I know that because I get all these cute little notifications from the state all the time because I'm an employer in the state. So I will say outside of areas like Orlando and Tampa, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County are some of the most expensive counties to live in. Our average 1-bedroom right now in Palm Beach County is $2,300 a month. And you can do the math at $14 an hour for minimum wage. If you're working 40 hours a week, even if you have multiple jobs, it's not very affordable.
As a Floridian, I am terrified to see my electric bill in a couple weeks, or what is this, at the end of the month soon? I don't even know when it comes in, but I am terrified.
$2,300.
$1,539.
$850.
These Fort Lauderdale residents say their water bills are drowning them, and they say they're
enraged. Complete frustration.
I don't even have a word to describe it.
These are just several of the dozens of people who say their water bills have skyrocketed over the last 2 years, and they don't know why. Jackie Waldman lives in a single-family, 1,500 square foot home. The city came to check her meter.
And they said it was under reading. Your meter was actually under reading. They told me that I used 55,000 gallons of water in 1 month.
Kim Marcus has a similar story.
I would say I've probably spent between over $4,000 in the past 12 months on water. And that's like a fifth of my salary. It's insane. And how many times I've called the city.
But residents say they keep asking for answers, and they feel like they're not getting anywhere.
I think people are just beaten into submission. You're held hostage. If you don't pay your bill, you're going to shut your water off. They shut your water off, then what do?
I gave my kids hell last month when the bill came in at $400. We turned lights out. I made sure the lights were out every day. I turned fans down. We took the air back up to 75. There's no heater on in that pool. My house is a whopping 2,100 square feet of nothing. 1 floor. Okay, I'm not going 2 floors. It's not a mansion. Okay, you guys are acting like I'm heating Lake Havasu over here. No, my pool is little. There's nothing in it. It's salt water. There's no heat.
I feel like this has got to be illegal. $600 for my electric bill. Florida Power and Light. Like, if I wasn't so we get solar, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We don't have any other options. It's this or not have electricity. $600.
Florida Power and Light is pushing for a nearly $10 billion rate hike. That would be the biggest utility increase in U.S. history, and they're not the only ones. That's up to $360 more a year just to keep your lights on. They say it's for clean energy, massive increases in the cost of materials, and hurricane cleanup. Critics are just calling it just plain corporate greed.
I have a bone to pick with Tico. My electric bill came in today. $775. My house is less than 1,200 square feet. It's actually, yeah, it is. It's less than 1,200. I think it's 1,187 square feet. Yeah. $775. I keep my house at 78 degrees. 78 degrees. And it's going to be $775? That's actually crazy. So.
The stories you've heard in this video reveal how the cost of living crisis is reshaping everyday life across Florida. For many Trump voters and others, these financial pressures are raising deeper concerns about stability, opportunity, and what the future holds. Behind every story is a family trying to stay afloat, a worker trying to keep up, and a community feeling the strain. These voices remind us that economic challenges aren't just numbers, they're deeply personal. If this video gave you a clearer picture of what people are facing, share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help more people hear these stories. Click the video on your screen to see what's happening in other states across America today.